Welcome to the online session of Arihant English Medium School for the academic year 2020-21. I am Fawzan H. Azhari, going to teach you history for the standard 8th. Before the start, I would like to ask few questions to you students. There are how many continents in the world? So there are total 7 continents in the world. Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Antarctica, and Australia. These are the 7 continents. India is in which continent? India is in the Asian continent. We live in Asia, Asian continent, and it is the biggest continent in the world. But my dear students, though we live in Asian continent, that doesn't mean we don't have any relation with other nations of other continents. Yes, we have relation with them from back long many years. We have a kind of understanding, cooperation, and we cannot learn history by learning the histories of those countries. We have to go through it for understanding our relation, our history in a better manner. So today we are going to learn second chapter, that is Europe and India. Now in this chapter we will try to understand, we will try to learn what kind of relationship India have with European nations. Now one example I will give you. In the 1st century there was excavation in the country of Italy. Archaeological department do the excavation, they dig out the earth to find out the things. Yes, so excavation took place. In that excavation they found a doll, and after research it was proved that that doll was belonged to India. So this act shows that the relationship of India are there, trade and business relationship of with the nations of European countries right from 1st century. So this was about the past. But if you see from the last 4 to 5 centuries, means from 17th 18th century, many traders, businessmen, navigators of European countries, they traveled to India for the purpose of trade, business, etc. And very soon they took over all the administration in their hand, and all of us we know the Britishers, they ruled over us for more than 150 years. So that's why we cannot keep them aside. There is a close relationship of European nations with us. If we have to understand history in a better manner, we have to understand them first. So in this way we will start our chapter. During the modern period, the various happenings in Europe and its impact on India. Therefore, while studying the period of modern Indian history, we have to study the events happening in Europe during this period. Yes, students, modern period, many things are happening in all the continents of the world, especially in Europe also. So its impact, direct or indirect impact, are there on India. Yes, many impacts are there. Whatever things are happening in Europe, their impact can be seen in India. So we have to learn them for understanding in a better manner. So we have to study what events are happening in Europe during this period. So pay attention here. First we will study period of Renaissance. First of all, I will tell you the meaning of Renaissance. Renaissance is rebirth. Meaning of Renaissance is rebirth, taking place again. Okay. In history of Europe, the last phase of medieval period, that is 13th to 16th century, is known as the period of Renaissance. So these 4 centuries, 13, 14, 15 and 16, these 4 centuries are known as the period of Renaissance, rebirth, again happening once. During this period, Reformation, religious reform movement and geographical discoveries laid the foundation of the modern era. Hence, this period is known as the age of Renaissance. Yes, my dear students, many new events, new things happen during this period. If you relate with religion, religious reformation, geographical discoveries. Many new things happened during this period. Hence, this period is known as the age of Renaissance. Okay. During this period, in the field of art, architecture, philosophy, etc., there was a revival of Greek and Roman tradition, which gave momentum to an overall development. Yes, what happened during this period? There was a revival once again. Means, though Greek, Roman, their art, their culture was there, but it was a revival. There was a rebirth of these Roman Greek cultures, and because of their rebirth of these things, what happened? There was lot of development and progress in the field of arts, architecture, philosophy, etc., which gave a lot of momentum, speed to the progress and development. During the Renaissance, humanitarianism was given great impetus. Yes, humanitarianism related to human beings. Humanitarianism, it was given a great impotence, great importance. There was a change in the outlook of treating each other as human being. Instead of religion, man became the center point of all ideologies. Before we can see whatever poem used to come, stories were there. All these stories, poems, they used to related of any god, goddesses, on religious only. But after that, during this period of Renaissance, the thinking of people changed. Now, who became the central idea? Man, that is, human being. Now, people started taking the common man as their central figure, as their protagonist, as their hero, because of which there was a lot of change in the thinking of people. The reform movement spread throughout all sectors of human life. Through knowledge, science, as well as different sections of art, we can observe the discoveries of reform movement. Yes, my dear students, reform movement, it was a reformation, not only in one sector, one department, almost the whole human life, all sections, all departments, there was a change, a kind of change was seen, due to which the whole outlook of human being, the whole life of human being started changing. The art and literature of Renaissance period depict sentiments and emotions of human being. Literature was produced in local language for better understanding to the common people. Yes, whatever art, literature of Renaissance period was there, what they used to depict, what they used to show, sentiments and emotions of human being, their feelings, what they used to think at that time, what kind of feeling they have, they used to depict that, show. Literature earlier, during the royal period, literature was there only in the royal languages, high class, for only for high class people. But now the time changed. As we have seen, common man became the central ideology, central idea, main point. So now the literature started published in all the local languages, so that the common people also should understand it very easily. During 1450 AD, Johannes Gutenberg from Germany discovered the printing press. Due to this discovery, new ideas, concepts, and knowledge reached to all sections of society. Yes, then there was a great reformation in 1450 AD. What happened? Johannes Gutenberg, he was from Germany, he discovered printing press. Now, after the discovery of printing press, there was a lot of change, because many artistic things, literature, it started publishing. People were able to read them, so there was a lot of change in the society. Okay, my dear students. Now we will see one about the personality of Leonardo da Vinci. See in this column, Leonardo da Vinci. He is recognized as an all round personality of the period of Renaissance. He was well versed in different branches of science and art. Yes, so my dear students, Leonardo da Vinci was an artistic personality during the Renaissance period. He was so well versed, and well versed not only in one subject, in almost all the subject he was a learned person. He had mastery over varied subjects such as sculpture, architecture, mathematics, engineering, music, astronomy, etc. So you can see he was expert, he was a learned person in so many languages, so many subjects. But he became world renowned as a painter. Yes, though he was a learned person in all these subjects, but he became world famous through his painting. His paintings of Mona Lisa and the Last Supper became immortal. Yes, dear students, even today we can see these pictures in big, big museums, and the world's costliest, you can say, picture is of Mona Lisa. It is painted by Leonardo da Vinci. So, though he is no more, Leonardo da Vinci is no more today, but his paintings, his work is even today it is living. So, it is today also it is mortal. His work became immortal, which cannot die. Though Leonardo da Vinci became mortal, he died, but his work will never die. Like that it is. Now, next point, religious reform movement. The independent intellectuals attacked the old religious ideologies of Roman Catholic Church. Yes, now independent institutions were there, modern people were there. Now they were fed up from the old customs, duties, rituals. Okay, so now they did lot of research, they came to know some kind of reality. Now they started revolting against the old customs and rituals. The Christian priests were taking advantage of the ignorance of the people and were indulged in unnecessary rituals. Christian priest, the head of Christianity. In the church, priest is there, he is the head. So what the modern people came to know, that these priests are doing unnecessarily rituals, and because the people are ignorant, because people are very innocent, these priests are taking disadvantage of them. Then what happened? They looted the people in the name of religion. Yes, the modern people, they came to know that all these priests, they are just looting all the people, ignorant and innocent people, in the name of religion. The movement that began against it is known as religious reform movement. Due to this movement, human freedom and rationalism gained more importance. So these modern people, when they came to know the reality, now they started revolting against all these old customs, rituals, against the priest. And this movement is only known as religious reform movement. So it is very important in learning in Renaissance. Next, geographical discoveries. In 1453 AD, the Ottoman Turks conquered Constantinople, that is present Istanbul country. Older name is Constantinople, which was the capital of Byzantine Empire. Yes, so the Constantinople, that country, it was the capital of Byzantine Empire. So they, in 1453, Ottoman Turks conquered it. Then what happened? The overland trade routes joining Asia and Europe went through this city. This city was very important because all the people from Europe, they used to travel to Asia via this route. Okay. Since the Turks blocked this route, there was a need of finding alternative trade routes for the European countries to reach Asia. This led to a new phase of geographical discoveries. Now the Ottoman Turks, they blocked this area. Now they started harassing people who used to come from Europe or used to come from Asia. They not allow the people to go. They used to collect heavy revenues. Because of this, what happened? Now there was a need in the mind of European people that we should find out alternative ways through which we can reach Asia. So in this phase, there were a lot of geographical discoveries. So here, which were the geographical discoveries? During 15th century, European sailors went on expedition to discover sea route to India. In 1487 AD, Bartolomeu Dias, a Portuguese sailor, began his expedition in search of India, but reached the tip of African continent, which we know now known as the Cape of Good Hope. Then in 1492 AD, Christopher Columbus set on his journey to India by sailing towards west, but reached on the eastern coast of the continent of America. Finally, in 1498 AD, Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama managed to sail past the Cape of Good Hope and reach the Indian coast of in Calicut. So in this way, these are the history of all the European navigators, expedition. Understood, my dear students? So in this way, they wanted to reach India, but they went to some other point of the world. Some discovered African continent, some discovered America. Finally, 1498, Vasco da Gama came to India. This is the history, how they find out the new routes. Now, see a next point, intellectual revolution in Europe. Due to the changes during the Renaissance period, Europe proceeded from medieval to modern age. Intellectual revolution took place in the same period. Now, as the time was passing, now people were becoming more and more modern day by day. So, the phase which was there in Europe of medieval age, now it was transferred, it was changed to the modern age. All the people, they started thinking about the modern period, they were very much intellectual. So this change took place in the same period of Renaissance. The society starts stepping out of the past ignorance and blind faith. Whatever past blind faith, superstitions were there, now people were fed up from them and they wanted a change in the society. They wanted that there should be a scientifical thinking behind all the things. Hence, all this superstitious blind faith, they were now people started ignoring them. The pre established customs and traditions came to be seen from a critical point of view. All these changes are addressed as intellectual revolution, which gave further momentum to scientific discoveries in Europe. Yes, my dear students, even today we can see this problem in our country. Many people are still very much superstitious, blind faith. We should not do this, we should not do that. All old customs, rituals, they follow even today. So these things, what do? They hindered, they become an obstacle in our progress and development. Same thing was happening in Europe. So they overcome these things. Yes, they overthrow all the superstitions, blind faith. Has what happened during the Renaissance period? There was a lot of discoveries, scientific discoveries. People, when they came to know that all these olden things are just nothing but they are the superstition, so now they started finding out new things, and behind everything they started to find out the scientific reasons, due to which there was lot of scientific discoveries. Now next, revolution in political sphere. In the early stage of beginning of modern period in Europe, many political changes took place. Yes, my dear students, now we are dealing with the political phase. How there was a change in political sphere in Europe. So as the things were going on, first there was a change in religious reformation, then intellectual, geographical discoveries. Now there was a strong need that political atmosphere was also going to change now. Due to the various revolutionary events during 18th as well as 19th century, this period is known as Age of Revolutions. Many changes happened between these two centuries, 18th and 19th. Because of them, this period, this phase, 18th and 19th centuries are known as Age of Revolutions. During this period, there was development of parliamentary democracy in England. There was a change in the form of cabinet system. The Bill of Rights 1689 laid limitations on the power of king. The sovereignty of parliament was established. Yes, it is this time only, my dear students, when democracy came to England. Earlier, almost in all the countries, kings, queens used to rule the nation. But in England, now the foundation of democracy was built up. There was a democratic values system in the mind of people. Hence, they passed one bill, the Bill of Rights in 1689, because of which the power of the king, they became limited now. All the limitations were put on the power of king. In this way, the parliament became more powerful. Next point we are going to study is American War of Independence. Very important point. With the background of revolutionary development in Europe, it is equally important to think about the American War of Independence. Yes, we are talking so much about the background of revolutionary movement, Renaissance. So in this period, the American War of Independence that is very important, my dear students, to understand that how this period took place or what happened in American War of Independence. So, see here, with the discovery of America, the European countries turned their attention towards this continent. America was discovered. Then what happened? European countries, they changed their mind and they started putting their attention towards this continent. The imperialist European countries took control of different regions of America and established their colonies. Imperialist means ruled by an emperor. Okay, so now they wanted to send their colonies in America and take away all the wealth, natural resources from them. So many nations of European, they, you can say, started sending their colonies to America. See here what happened. The European countries took control of different regions of America. England established 13 colonies on the east coast of America. Yes, England country, they sent how many colonies? 13 colonies to the east coast of America. Initially, England had nominal domination over these colonies, but later English Parliament laid oppressive restrictions and taxes on these American colonies. At the start, England sent these colonies to America. At that time, they were having very nominal power over these colonies, but later on, they became very strict and started collecting revenues from them, taxes from them. So these colonies were fed up from the harassment of their own country, that is England. The people in America revolted against it. People in America were also against this all kind, you can say, injustice. England declared war to suppress these colonies. American colonies organized the army under the leadership of George Washington and finally won against England. So England, when came to know that these colonies as well as the people of America, they are revolting against us, so hence they made, you can say, they declared a war. But America also prepared their army under the leadership of George Washington and finally they won against England. So this event is only known as American War of Independence. A new nation known as United States of America with a federal government, written constitution and based on the principles of democracy was born. By this freedom, a new nation came into existence. Its name was United States of America with a federal government, written constitution and based on the principles of democracy. That's why this phase is very important, my dear students. Now, the next important point we are going to study is French Revolution. In 1789 AD, the people of France revolted against the uncontrolled and unjust monarchy and feudalism and established a republic. Yes, the conditions in France were also very much terrible. Monarchy, you can say feudalism, feudal lords. Monarchy ruled by king, queen, and feudal lords. The, you can say, rich people who used to give the loans to the people by taking their lands. They were known as feudal lords. They were doing lot of injustice to the people. So they established a republic. This event is known as French Revolution. So because of their unjust policies and harassment, the people united together and revolted against them, and this event is only known as French Revolution. The French Revolution gave to the world the three values of liberty, equality and fraternity. Yes students, these three values are very important. We also read them daily in our preamble. So these three values the world got from French Revolution: liberty, equality and fraternity. In the world history, among the political revolutions, the American War of Independence and French Revolution have a very important place. So when we talk about the changes of the world, when we talk about Renaissance, the Reformation period, the two events are very important. First of all, American War of Independence, and second, French Revolution. These two incidents, these two things gave a new kind of outlook to the world. many other countries of the world, they got good lessons from these two incidents, and they also applied same principles in their own country to overcome the injustice and, we can say, harassment of other feudal lords and other countries, colonies, etc. Hope you might have understood till here, my dear students. Remaining points we will see in next session. Thank you.